All right, old school NBA fans, self-research, NBA facts. Got another video for you. As always, thanks to anybody who watches my videos, subscribes to my channel. I really appreciate it. I see there's some new people in here, people I've never heard of before. Sometimes some of these videos brings out the trolls. I find it comical. Whatever point you're making, they just go along with what they've always known. No open-mindedness, no anything. They've got their mind made up, but that's how it is. And this video here goes right into the heart, the crux of the LeBron crowd's argument why they think LeBron James is either the GOAT or a top 5 all-time player, whatever. This is the crux of their argument, longevity. They know the championships, he falls well short, accolades short, too many failures, all that. So it all lies on longevity. Now, while getting all-stars for 20 years, that's great. I think Karl Malone, maybe 19 years, he was right there. Kareem definitely did it for 20. It's not like anything we haven't seen before. But either way, sure, that's great. Somebody plays that long and all that at an all-star level, even squeaking into like a third-team All-NBA where there's a lot of competition maybe they shouldn't have, but whatever. They voted him in anyway. Okay, fine. That's one way to look at longevity. Just a player's career, playing at an all-star, maybe even third-team All-NBA level for 20 years. That's great. But what about somebody who played at the highest level for an entire decade? Now, I misspoke on Angry Old Hoops live chat the other day, and I just felt like I needed to make a video on it to correct myself. I'm going to get into it right now. The players who have the longest gap between when they were a first-team all-defensive selection, the first time they made it, up into their last. So that is first-team all-defense longevity right there. The first player that I'm going to put up here, Tim Duncan. From 1999 was his first selection, and 2008 was his last. And I'm only talking about first team here, not second team, first team. So that's 9 years apart. So that's really good. He has 8 total first team all defenses. So 9 years apart, that's excellent. It really is. That is defensive longevity at its finest. You won't see LeBron for more than 5 years. Actually, it's 4 years apart. It was 2009 through 2013. That's his first team all defense longevity. It's pretty short, actually, when you're talking all-time greats. Gary Payton. Gary Payton's first team all defense selection was in 1994. His last was in 2002. That's 8 years apart. He had 9 total first team all defenses, which is still pretty good. How about Bobby Jones? Now, Bobby Jones is interesting because if you include the ABA, he's got the most ever first team all defenses. He's got 10. His first one was 1975 in the ABA, and then he made it again, so both years in the ABA made it. And then his last one was 1984 in the NBA, obviously. That's 9 years apart with 10 total first team all defenses. That is awesome, no doubt about it. Then you have Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan made 9 first team all defenses. His first one was 1988, and his last was 1998. That's 10 years apart. So for an entire decade, Michael Jordan was playing at a first team all defensive level, period. Kevin Garnett, his first one was in 2000, and his last one was in 2011. So that's 11 years apart. He did make 9 total. That's tied for the most ever, but he's also tied for the biggest gap ever. So he's got the longest first team all defense longevity of all time. And the player that he is tied with is Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's first team all defense was in 2000. His last one was also in 2011, exactly like Garnett. 11 years apart, 9 total. So actually, Kobe and Kevin Garnett have the longest gap between their first and last first team all defense of 11 years. But right behind them is Michael Jordan. So he's the third best of all time. About scoring title longevity. In scoring title longevity, George Gervin is a guy who won 4 scoring titles. So I'm just going to do the guys who did 4 or more. 1978 to 1982, so that's a 5-year window. He won for all 4 of his scoring titles in that window. Kevin Durant, same thing. All 4 of his was in a 5-year window, 2010 to 2014. Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson's 4 scoring titles was from 1999 to 2005. That's actually within a 6-year window. That's really good. Wilt Chamberlain won 7 scoring titles from 1960 to 1966. All 7 were in the first 7 years of his career. He won every one, 1960 to 66, but his first and his last is 6 years between them. So far, that's the best. But then you get to Michael Jordan. He won his first scoring title in 1987, and he won his last scoring title in 1998. So that's actually 11 years apart, 10 total scoring titles. That's the longest gap of all time. No one has ever done 11 years between their first and their last scoring title. So here's a guy who is playing at the highest level on defense, first team all defense, for a decade, and also on offense, leading the league in scoring for 11 years. Now, he has 10 titles because he didn't get it in 94, 95, but 11 years apart. Unheard of. The longest gap was Iverson and Chamberlain at 6 years apart between their first and last. But Jordan was able to maintain a scoring title level player for 11 years apart. Unheard of. There's nothing to compare that to. It doesn't stop there. That's just the defense and the scoring. What about MVP longevity? How about Dr. J? Dr. J won his first MVP in 1974, and it was an ABA MVP. His last MVP was in 1981, the NBA. That was a 7-year gap right there. Let's look at Kareem. Kareem's got 6 MVP totals, and he does have good MVP longevity. Again, a player like a LeBron James, yeah, he won 4 MVPs, but he did it all in a 5-year window. Wilt Chamberlain won 4 MVPs, and I believe he won those in a 7 or 8 year window for Wilt. Still pretty good. But Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's first MVP was in 1971. He won his last MVP in 1980, which is 9 years apart. That's really good, though. That is playing at an MVP level for 9 years. That's awesome. I mean, it just is. Now, granted, some of the MVPs that Kareem actually won, he probably shouldn't have. There was one year, definitely in 72, no way should he have won it. But Wilt and Jerry West kind of canceled each other out, finishing second and third. But that's the issue, too, with today's voting versus back then. Back then, those guys got such high votes, they canceled each other out. Where LeBron was still able to win MVPs in 2012 and 2013 when he shouldn't have, because he had high-level teammates on his team. But that's just not how the voters did it. They had their minds made up well in advance. So now we get to the MVP longevity king, Michael Jordan. Won his first MVP in 1988. His last MVP in 1998. That's 10 years apart. That's the longest gap for any player in NBA history. So in essence, in Michael Jordan's longevity case, and this is always my rebuttal when people just concede oh yeah, LeBron's got the longevity. Does he? He's only playing one side of the ball. That's all he's doing. One side of the ball. That's it. Michael Jordan was 1 year shy of the longest gap between first and last, first team, all defenses. The longest gap between first and last scoring titles at 11 years, and the longest gap between his first and last MVP, 10 years. That right there is definitive proof to me that Michael Jordan for a decade was easily the best player in the NBA. And there's been no other player to maintain that level for that long. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to argue all-star, third-team All-NBA level, fine. You can say, yeah, LeBron did it for a long time. Him and Kareem, Karl Malone is right there. Sure, you can say that. Tim Duncan, absolutely. If that's what floats your boat, that's great. But for me, the highest level, winning scoring titles, first team all defense, MVPs, there is no one else. It's just Jordan when it comes to that. At that level, it's Michael Jordan, easily. So that means he had the longest prime and highest prime of any player in NBA history, no question. Now, Kareem did have the Finals MVP, 1971 and then 1985. He did have a 14-year gap. But people tend to overrate Finals MVPs. It's like, I understand it's the championship round, absolutely. But it's one series. It wasn't even like it's for the whole playoffs. It's one series. I know, it's the championship round, but people make such a big deal about it. You know, even though Jordan won all 6 Finals MVPs of his 6 championships, still, to me, it's just like, yeah, he did win those, and he did play the best of anybody on his team and deserved all 6 of them, but it just doesn't have the kind of weight that other things do. Like a scoring title to me is huge. People want to make the argument about, oh, all you got to do is shoot a lot, you know, you're going to win the scoring title. Well, first of all, to be able to shoot that much, you got to be efficient. That's number one, if you're going to win the scoring title. And number 2, you're going to get the plug pulled on you if you're not hitting consistently and being efficient about it. You're just not going to be able to do that. The coach is going to say, whoa, 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 this is ridiculous. Stop shooting the ball so much. Get other people involved. You know, you're shooting 37%. Yeah, that's just not going to fly here. Allen Iverson was probably the most inefficient shooter that I can remember that had a free rein to do it. Obviously, he was in a tough era, a very tough defensive era. But to shoot at the rate that he was, I was surprised they were allowing him to just have the green light to shoot all those times. But even still, with Allen Iverson, with the green light, nobody else really gobbling up a lot of shots, still, he got 4 scoring titles. That's all he got. Jordan has 10 scoring titles. And to do it over that long of a period, that high of a level, it's unlike anything we've ever seen. I got some clips here of Michael Jordan's defense in 1988 and 98. See the difference. Like, here's what he did in 88, and this is what he did in 98, maintaining that level the whole way. And then I got highlights of him in 1988 and 1998 on offense. And this is why, part of the reason, a big part for me, that Michael Jordan is just the GOAT right there. This is a big reason why, a huge piece of the puzzle for me, because there's no one else that's doing this.
Dennis Johnson off the circle to the right, holding on Jordan. Swings it left to Bird. Bird, a return feed into McHale. The Bulls dig it out. Michael Jordan, the steal. Dennis Johnson holding wide right, gets it to Bird, foul line. His inside pass tipped away. Jordan steals it. Might to come on for the Bulls. Bird has it right side. Plays it into McHale. Low right around Oakley to the hoop. Gets the shot blocked by Jordan. And then
team foul. And Michael snuffed that shot. Looked like an easy.
Front miss steal. Vincent Ainge lean-in jumper in the lane missing. Rebound tipped around. Parrish has it. Stolen by Vincent to Jordan. Michael Jordan on the drive up the court. Feeds it off to Oakley from the right. Charles lays it in with the left to Parrish. Low right against Corsi. Parrish dribbled the ball away. Jordan the steal.
This. The Parrish came up and bounced off his head. Michael just stole the ball. He got back in.
Checked by Vincent. Wide left. And it goes to McHale against Oakley. And the ball loose to Jordan. 38 seconds left. Here's Jordan the steal.
Jordan with 43. Malone is doubled. They swat at it and steal it. Here comes
back. You're going to see he's in the play. Look where Hornacek is setting the screen. Michael never clears, so Malone doesn't see him. He comes from the blind side and strips him. So 3 crucial plays.
His first field goal, Michael Jordan with 4.
Automatic.
21 points for him. Low right, Jordan. Michael across the lane, scoops it in. That's the foul. Some move by Michael Jordan through a whole sea of black shirts. Fanned away the foul. Michael in from the left side, jammed it right over Rollins.
Michael Jordan just went by. Oakley dribbles near the top of the key, dishes on the baseline to Jordan, under, hang glides, hit it off the window. What a shot.
Left side, Paxson. Jordan draws the contact, it counts and a foul.
Jordan with a ball down shot is fouled by Antonio Davis.
Michael, the dish, and Harper. I think Michael was intending to.
Spins quadruple team. Luke goes in.
Forcing it. Oh, what a.
Jordan on Taylor. Jordan against the rookie.
Push it hard. No stopping a birthday boy exit. Up over everybody. Patented slam.
Rocket pulled off another board. Michael Jordan with that quick throwdown today. Hands in the wing. Makes huge between everybody he is.
Elling's trying to stop Jordan.
That's all I got for this video. As usual, thank you guys for watching. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you wouldn't mind sharing the video, that would be great. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. I've been given daily content. That's it. Until next time.